situation, building their team slowly, but Blake Cook, week in and week out, just puts that car through its paces, gets the best finish possible, and they've shown a lot of promise and a lot of progress.
Perfect transition to Ryan Sieg. Same car this weekend that they ran at Michigan. That's not an easy transition to make. Michigan to Iowa. Geographically, maybe okay, but not when you talk about the track configuration.
Yeah, they had to head back to Georgia and just rethink the setup. This whole, basically the way this 39 car is set up, obviously it's much different when we talk about Michigan. We heard those cars going around that track nearly wide open around the whole racetrack, and here you're off the gas right there, hard onto the brakes. So obviously there's a lot of things that need to be changed up and thought about differently, and that's what that team was faced with this week.
Sieg right now 17th. Darrell Wallace Jr. just jumped up inside the top 10. There you see the 6 car made his debut in the Xfinity Series a number of years ago right here at Iowa. Chance here because when you talk about Iowa, 12 times we've been here, 8 times the Blue Ovals pulled into victory lane.
Yeah, Chevrolet has not won here since Elliott Sadler in late 2012, and Toyota only has the 1 win here at the beginning of 2014 with Sam Hornish Jr.
Hey, I want to go back to something I said earlier. Joe Gibbs Racing and all the success for Chris Gale. Won this season with Kyle Busch and Denny.
By a couple of hundredths of a second, so I think Drew Herring's going to have a solid car for the race tomorrow.
Look at this, Ryan Sieg trying to make his way into the top 12. In the green off of turn 2, but lost it a bit back to the red. Let's see if he can pick it up as he heads over to turn 3.
It's gaining going into the corner, which usually means you're going to lose coming off. When you make that big of a jump on entry against this competition that you have here, that means you've driven your car down into the corner deeper than they did. Doesn't seem to work when you try to get through the middle.
14th, not a bad place to start, though.
Sieg, not going to move on to round 3 there, but 2 weekends back-to-back that you've had some pretty good qualifying sessions. You started 10th last weekend, 14th this weekend. You got to feel pretty good about that.
Oh yeah, it's going good. It's really good for our team and everything we've accomplished. We were that close. I wanted to make that 3rd round, and it's still, we're going to have a good race car. He drove good yesterday, and that's really what we focused on yesterday. And the W.J. Plemons Investments Smartcell Chevrolet was really good and should be good for the race.
Thanks, Ryan.
Love it.
I'm looking at these drivers just outside the top 12. They didn't advance, but we talked about Drew Herring, 13th. Just heard from Ryan Sieg, 14th. Ross Chastain, 15th. Jeremy Clement, 16th. That's a nice little grouping of drivers right
And, you know,
there.
out of that grouping of drivers, I would venture to guess half of them will charge